Hello again, welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, Crop Life Magazine, here this week with Dan Jacobs from Agribusiness Global. As you folks might remember, Paul Shrimp is on his double secret trip out to Oregon, and hopefully when he gets back next week he may share some things with us. But then again, he might not be able to, so we'll have to quiz him when he returns. But in the meantime, welcome, Dan. What things can you give us an update on? What's going on outside the U.S.?
There are two things right now that are really interesting people right now. First, the India Regulatory Agency gave its approval for the Bayer Monsanto, so that is moving along. It's been a long time happening, and there's still some hurdles to clear, but that is progressing, so that's something we'll hopefully see soon. And then the other thing is the European courts backed a ban on 3 different neonics. So that is going to leave farmers struggling a little bit to find some replacements there. So we'll have to see what they're going to do over the next several months.
Yeah, I do remember that there's a ban. They can't use the neonics outdoor at all, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there's some push for that here in the U.S. as well, and also in Australia. We'll have to see if the world decides to follow the example of the EU courts. Hopefully not, but I guess time will tell. Well, speaking of things we've been saying goodbye to, I know we've seen several company names disappear over the last several months. We've said goodbye to Agrion and Potash Corp. Now they're under the Nutrien label, and we're going to get ready to say goodbye to Monsanto as the Bayer-Monsanto merger keeps moving forward. And of course, recently we found out that CPS is going to be disappearing, and that group will be changing its name to Nutrien Ag Solutions. Now this week we found out that another name will be disappearing, sort of, from the marketplace, and that being Helena Chemical Company. Helena will start going by the name of Helena Agro Enterprises. No timetable on this yet, Dan, but it sounds like that change is already beginning to happen. So I suspect by the end of summer we'll start seeing some new Helena logos out in the marketplace. The other thing saying goodbye to something in the market, we found out that the folks at Mosaic have decided to move their corporate headquarters from Plymouth, Minnesota down to Florida. The company says that this is going to help it be a little closer to its recent acquisition of a Brazilian fertilizer interest and also save it some money in the long run. And again, with that move, there's no timetable yet, but we'll have to see when that actually takes place. But Mosaic, welcome to Florida. And one other thing to talk about, Dan, I know a bunch of our folks in the marketplace, they know that for the last almost 30 years we've been doing a program with the folks at DuPont, now Corteva, called the Environmental Respect Awards program. And that program usually would take entries for people in the marketplace, retailers and others who were going above and beyond when it comes to environmental aspects of the market. We would be getting entry forms in, usually over the winter time, and judging would take place in the spring, and we'd be doing visits in the late spring, early summer. But this year that program's been moved back timetable-wise, so we're actually taking entries now till the middle of June. You want to comment on what that has meant for the international market, if you will?
Yeah, this has been an international program for the last many years, covering Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and we always get a really nice response from those regions. They've also expanded this program to include seeds. That's kind of a new area that they haven't covered in the past. So it should be really an interesting program. We're certainly getting a lot of response internationally. I think we are trying to build up that domestic response. I know this is a busy time of year for folks, but they still have an opportunity to enter.
Yeah, so if your folks are done with your field work and have a little bit of time on your hands, put up on the screen here where you can go to visit www.environmentalrespect.com, and you can request a form and fill it in, and if you get it here by mid-June, we'll get you on the list, and hopefully your outlet will be deemed worthy enough to be the winner for the Environmental Respect Awards here in 2018. So that's all we have this week. Thanks, Dan, for sitting in for Paul, and we'll see you again real soon.